Now, your forecast first, sponsored by Wegmans Meals to Go.
Rain is moving out. Winds are starting to die down, too. All of this is good news as we start the new work week. We'll bring you up to speed on the next 5 days coming up.
Up next, the latest on an accident in Fairport after a car is hit by a train.
From the team you can trust, this is breaking news from News 8.
Good evening, everyone. That breaking news out of Fairport right now. One man is in the hospital after his car was hit by a train right in Fairport Village. Atia Collins is standing by live now from the scene with the very latest on this. Atia?
That's right, Maureen. This is North Main Street here in Fairport. The car was traveling down this street when it was hit on those tracks right over there. Around 2:50 this morning is when this accident took place. Now, the train was a CSX cargo train. It was stuck on that tracks for hours as police worked to clear up the scene. Now, a witness told me it was a gray sedan that was struck. Take a look at these pictures. You can see the damage was pretty extensive. The sedan had heavy damage to the front end with the hold completely crushed in, and the airbags looked to be deployed inside the car. Police say they don't know why the car was on the tracks or how it got there. The only occupant was a male driver who police say was alive, talking at the scene and complaining of pain. He was taken by ambulance to a hospital. No word on where or the extent of his injuries at this time. Police say the train stopped on its own after striking the vehicle.
The car's mangled pretty good. Yep, and side, as you would expect, hit by a locomotive. He had complaint of pain. Other than that, I'm not a medical doctor. Obviously, he was removed by ambulance and heading to the hospital.
The road here was blocked for hours. It's all cleared up now, and police say they are still investigating how and why that car was on the tracks in the first place. Now, we asked the police at the scene whether the gates were down at the time of the accident. They said they don't know, but the gates were down when we talked to Sergeant earlier today. In Fairport, Atia Collins, News 8. Back to you, Maureen.
All right, Atia, thank you very much. Once again, that accident happening about 2:50 this afternoon, but the roads in that area are now open to traffic. That scene's been cleared. We'll have much more coming up. More breaking news now out of Genesee County. Take a look at this. A small plane crashed today at the LeBroy Airport. As you can see from this photo, there is damage to the back end. The plane in the grass, not on the runway. We are waiting for word on who was on board and the extent, if any, of injuries. As you can see, though, there is some damage there. We do know it was windy today. Police have not yet said what caused the crash. And again, we're waiting for word from management at the LeBroy Airport. They're expected to address the situation any moment now. Let's go now to Chief Meteorologist Eric Sneidel standing by. Eric, it was a rainy, windy day. Now we're waiting for word on what happens this week.
Hi, Maureen. Yeah, this was not the best way to close out our weekend here. Sunday temperatures have been a little cooler. We're now in the 50s. It's been windy. It's been wet, particularly through the morning. But it is slowly getting better. Now, it doesn't look like it right now. That is your still very dark and overcast sky from the Genesee Lighthouse overlooking Lake Ontario. Now, let's go back before we look forward. Rainfall totals over the last 24 hours. They've been largely impressive, particularly north and west of Rochester. We've had totals near 3/4 of an inch, couple of spots about 1 inch of rainfall. Here in town, though, we were near about 1/4 of an inch, and that was kind of the going rate here as we went through most of the area. Hourly forecast for what is left into the evening and through the overnight. Cloudy skies will eventually go mostly cloudy and then partly cloudy by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. This is as that clearing starts to finally make its way on through. And we don't see a whole lot of rainfall showing up on radar, which is a very good thing. Another good sign that nicer days are going to end up being ahead. So let's pull this off to the east. All of our rain from earlier this morning has made a beeline across New England. It's a messy football game in New England, but they're dealing with the rain that we had earlier this morning, so we say goodbye to that. High pressure is starting to build in tonight. This is going to be our best friend. Monday and Tuesday. It'll be a short-lived best friend around here, but we'll certainly take it. Wind speeds will continue to fade through the night, too. By 11 o'clock, we'll still have some gusts near 30 miles an hour. Beyond midnight, though, these really drop off. In fact, I think by early tomorrow morning around daybreak, negligible wind speeds here, 5 to 10 miles an hour, and that would be it. So we'll get a break from that, too. Future view as we go into the afternoon tomorrow. After a little cloud cover in the morning, it's mostly clear. That will allow highs on Monday to get into the low 60s. Now, remember, for the end end of October, we shouldn't be at 60 or better. Average highs are already down in the middle and upper 50s across the area. We're going to do about 10 better than that, I think, as we go into Tuesday. Mostly sunny to partly cloudy continues, and we'll go middle and even upper 60s across the area. That's all well and good. But now we get to track what happens toward the end of the week. This is Halloween Thursday. Now, we've paused this model at 11 o'clock at night, so we're getting within that range of trick-or-treat time. This is a little after that, but you see the overall setup here. There'll be another area of low pressure passing to our west. This will allow widespread rain and a few embedded rumbles of thunder to work in. Right now, this does look like it's going to be a not-so-great forecast for Halloween throughout the day, including the evening. So kiddos are going to have to at least plan on the rainfall. And look at what we have here by early Friday. That's your next storm system with the colder air wrapping around. And we think eventually through the day on Friday, cold enough air starts to pull in here, especially into some of the higher elevations in the southern tier and off to our southwest, that some of those raindrops will mix with the first snowflakes of the season. So we've got that on our agenda by Friday, and there could be a little rain-snow mix involved too going into the weekend. Saturday and Sunday, you see the big turn toward colder by that point. Highs only in the 40s by Saturday and Sunday. It'll mainly the overnight hours as we start to get those temperatures to drop into the 30s, enough to support a little bit of snowfall, which is why we will take tomorrow and Tuesday with a big smile on our face, because it's not going to last a whole lot longer, Maureen.
All right, well, it's an important week ahead.
It's a big week ahead, yes.
All right, thanks, Eric. Hey, the Bills struggled in the win today and lost their second game of the season against the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Thad Brown is live now from Orchard Park with the latest. Thad?
All game long, and really that was not a surprise. Jordan Poyer even said, we knew what kind of game it was going to be. It was going to be physical, a game where the run game was very important, and yet the Eagles ran the ball almost at will. 218 yards total. That's the most the Bills have allowed all year. In fact, it's the most the Eagles have ever run for under their head coach, Doug Peterson, and it was a big reason why the Bills lost game number 2 here today.
We weren't helping ourselves out, whether it was penalties, pre-snap, during the whistle, or during the play. Ultimately, that rests on my shoulders. So I gotta find a way to, allow ourselves to get better with moving the ball and putting some more points on the board. And performance like this won't cut it.
I'm concerned anytime a team can run the ball like that on our football team. That's concerning. Sometimes technique's baked into that. I don't believe it was effort at all. Our guys play hard. They've played hard every game to this point, and they played hard, I thought, today. So we got to look at the film to see if it's technique, if it's fundamentals, sometimes both.
There was a thought that the Bills might be a bit more complacent in this game compared to the Eagles, who at 3-4 before today desperately needed a win. The Bills at 5-1 were already in good shape, and really at 5-2 still are in good shape. But it might have been a contributing factor, even though Sean McDermott thought the effort wasn't the issue. Shaq Lawson, after the game, said they wanted it more, and it showed today. We'll have a whole lot more on Bills Game Day Recap at 7:45. Check that out at rochesterfirst.com. Alex Ross will join me. We'll go through all the different angles, all the reasons why the Bills fell 31-13 against the Eagles today. Live at a blustery, to say the least, New Era Field in Orchard Park, I'm Thad Brown. Maureen, back to you.
All right, Thad, thank you very much. And thank you, everybody, for joining us for this web edition of News 8 at 6. We'll see you tonight on News 8 at 11.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on rochesterfirst.com, Facebook, Twitter, and our apps for both news and weather.